येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. The last time we touched the subject of what induces one to have bhakti, and there were several reasons that have been ascertained, but one of the reasons that is more important that is now elaborately described, and we also looked into that Chaitanya Charitamrtam Madhya Leela 19th chapter 151st verse telling ब्रह्मांडे भ्रमिते होए कौन भाग्यवान जीव गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादित पाए भक्ति लता बीज. The seed of devotion is obtained through the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So it is the seed of devotion, the bhakti bij, more precisely the seed of creeper of devotion, the bhakti lata bij. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to Rupa Goswami, according to their karma, all living entities are wandering throughout the universe, entire universe. Some of them are being elevated to the upper planetary system, and some are going down to the lower planetary system. Out of many millions of wandering living entities, one who is very fortunate gets the opportunity to associate with a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna, and by the mercy of both Krishna and the spiritual master, such a person receives the seed of the creeper of devotional service. So, seed of the creeper of devotion is a figurative. What is it more says precisely? It is the transcendental knowledge received from the pure devotee that awakens our latent love for Krishna. This is the meaning. Seed of devotion means the element of love towards Krishna is the ultimate fructification of the seed will be there. So the idea is that it may look like figurative, but it is very meaningful to make us understand that love of Godhead is the only ultimate aim of our life. So bhakti must be containing within itself the knowledge and love. So unless and until we are trained to know and realize by practice of the methods of bhakti, we will never progress. So we have to pay attention. So this kind of devotion is also coming in Vaidhi Bhakti. You have to do like a procedural aspect, step by step. And bhakti has to be becoming a free launching agent to go back home, back to Godhead. So there is a Vaidhi Bhakti and then there is a Raganuga Bhakti. Means after liberation from the bodily conception of life, we will be able to enter into Raganuga, not before that. We should never try to expose ourselves that we are elevated devotees. Be humble. Bhakti Devi, as we know, she is independent like Lord Shri Krishna. And if she withdraws, her mercy will be nowhere. Right? And therefore, we should not offend a devotee. Very first thing. We should not criticize a devotee. We should not, evaluate something on the bodily conception of life or the style or whatever it is. In Vaishnavism, this is completely forbidden. Otherwise, it creates what you call an unpardonable offense. To blaspheme a devotee who has dedicated his life for the propagating of the holy name of the Lord is the first and foremost offense. So one may keep on chanting for millions of years. यही ब्रह्मांड भ्रमित होए कौन भाग्यवान जी. Then बहुजन्म यदि करे श्रवण कीर्तन तब न पाए कृष्ण पदे प्रेम. They are not contradictory, but what makes it, unproductive, then you chant, but are you chanting in service attitude to Lord Shri Krishna? If you do that in a concentrated way, Prabhupada said, Krishna will dance on your tongue. And you won't visualize. When we chant, do we see Krishna dancing on our tongue? No. You can't manufacture that idea. But those who are realized soul, they see. So in this way, the methods, rules, and regulations by which one is perfectly trained in devotional service constitute the Bhakti Lata Bij, or seed of devotional service. This has been said also in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 19th chapter, 152nd verse, purport. So, after submissively receiving the seed of the creeper of devotion, the jivas must embrace that transcendental knowledge in order to sow it in the garden of their heart. If it is bhakti to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatyasu Jnanam Vairagyam Chadahitukam. Ahituki Jnana and Vairagya will be the byproducts of performing bhakti, and they must come. If they do not arise in our heart, we are somewhere in the fault. Otherwise, nobody can twist bhakti or bribe bhakti or this or that. No, nobody can make a shortcut even. And people in Mayavadi, they think they are far better, but they transgress. Then why in the first place they join, and who made them join, and how grateful one should be for life. So what is the right for them to criticize the one who brought them in? So the first and foremost offense is applicable in a very broad sense, not a narrow. Whoever have helped us, we must be grateful. And anything, any difference of opinion, that subside within. It doesn't require, a tribunal to and make a judgment out of it. No. If you are really serious about bhakti, then you resolve within yourself. So, Srila Prabhupada adds to this watering process an additional duty. Seed is there. The watering process is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You nurture the seed and it will sprout. Then keep it going till it reaches to the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, and you then climb up on that Bhakti Lata Bij. Bhakti Lata. So, the seed of devotion cannot sprout unless watered by the process of hearing and chanting. One should submissively receive the transcendental message from the spiritually advanced sources and chant the very same message for one's own benefit and for the benefit of the audience. This has been said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 2nd chapter, 117th verse. Nothing out of context. Everything is there within our literature, and Prabhupada translated it. It's good enough. So, in other words, sadhana bhakti includes preaching, and preaching nourishes one's devotional kripa as well as the devotional kripas of others. Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya are especially inclined to preachers. This is also said in Bhagavad Gita as it is chapter number 18, 68 and 69 verses. Ya idam guhyam paramam mad bhaktesha vidashati bhaktim mai param krutva yati natra samshaya. One who is preaching the glories or the intricacies of Bhagavad Gita, secrets of Bhagavad Gita, that is love of Godhead, to the devotees, mad bhaktesh bhapitas. So any category of bhakta, neophyte, advanced or already, liberated, all the three categories, they will be very inclined to bless the speaker because it gives eternal benefit. There is nobody dear to Lord Krishna other than the one who preaches the glories amongst the devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Krishna both are especially inclined to the preachers. So who then can estimate the extra benefit preachers receive from the rain shower or of their special mercy? They will be also enriched simultaneously. Both are progressing from their status quo, higher ups. So general principle illustrated by the example of Bhakti Lata Bij is that every action begins with an inaugural seed. Moreover, spiritual or mundane, pious or sinful, any action begins with the seed of knowledge. In this regard, Srila Prabhupada gives an illuminating commentary. Everything has an original cause or seed. For any idea, program, plan, or device, there is first the contemplation of the plan, and that is called the bija or the seed. The methods, rules, and regulations by which one perfectly trained in devotional service constitute the Bhakti Lata Bij or the seed of devotional service. This Bhakti Lata Bij is received from the spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. Other seeds called Anyabhilasha Bija. Anyabhilasha means other than rendering devotional service to Lord Krishna as a separate thing. That is not equivalent to Bhakti Lata Bija. Whether it may be the service of the nation or service of the poor, downtrodden, that doesn't come in. There's Anyabhilashata Shunyam Jnana Karmadana Vratam Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Ruttama. So Anya Abhilasha we have come to narrowing the unified factor of Bhakti Lata Bij. Not a broaden. And that same seed will give any other fruits also? No way. That gives one kind. So, the methods, rules, and regulations by which one is perfectly trained in devotional service constitute the Bhakti Lata Bij, or the seed of devotional service. This Bhakti Lata Bij is received from the spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. Other seeds called Anyabhilasha Bij include Karma Bij and Jnana Bij. If one is not fortunate enough to receive the Bhakti Lata Bij from the spiritual master, he instead cultivates such seeds as Karma Bij, Jnana Bij, or political, social, or philanthropic Bijas. However, the Bhakti Lata Bij is different from these other Bijas. This is also explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Madhya Leela, 19th chapter, 152nd verse, purport is there. So here Srila Prabhupada broadens the concept of bija. The type of knowledge person perceives or receives corresponds to the type of seed they have sown in their heart. Further knowledge of the subject, as well as the actions inspired by that knowledge, cultivates the seed into a creeper and matures and bears its own distinctive flowers and fruits. So, if we have no pure desire or a transcendental nature of desire that only gears to please Lord Krishna, that is a different kind of, traversing the path which is exclusively goes to Krishna. Anything else can divert it to other objects. All right. So Karma Bij is there and Jnana Bij is there. All right. If it is not pure bhakti, then there will not be pure karma or pure jnana. Mary, how does a person acquire the seed of the semblance of devotion? Semblance means almost resembling. How many religionists and philanthropists from both Vedic and non-Vedic schools of thought consider devotion service a means to attain either sense gratification or liberation. Those who are Mayavadis, they said, will gain something more pleasurable.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
What we say, when these schools proponents disseminate such distorted knowledge, they propagate the seeds of the creeper of Bhaktya Abhasa. This Abhas means a shadow glimpse, but not clear image. Bhaktya Abhas. These creepers have their followers and fruits elevation to heavenly planets and liberation and not love of God. They are in getting off at different stations, not the ultimate station. Bhaktyabhas. These creepers have as their flowers and fruits elevation to heavenly planets and liberation, not love of God. They end up at intermediary stations maybe higher than our material platform, but still the subject matter remains there, then sense of knowledge and sense gratification. But so when these schools proponents disseminate such distorted knowledge, they propagate the seeds of the creeper called Bhaktyabhas. These creepers have their flowers and fruits, elevation to heavenly planets and liberation, not love of God. This is the only thing that they will be devoid of. Love of God can only be obtained where the love, the most prominent element, and that is Vrindavan. Not even Mathura or Dwarka.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances.
So persons who receive such seeds are less fortunate because they had received the pure Bhakti Lata Bij. They would have cultivated the pure devotion and quickly tasted the fruits of direct service to the Lord. Instead, they continue to rotate in the cycle of birth and death, end up serving the wrong masters. Many well-known proponents of such semblance of devotion live under the cultural umbrella of Hinduism. Impersonal philosophy, Mayavadas, and the Western materialism has polluted the eternal theology of Sanatana Dharma of the Vedas. This has been written, and Sanatana Dharma is a well-known name for the devotional service in practice. Say introduction of Bhagavad Gita as it is, page number 7. The word Sanatan is an occupational duty which has no beginning nor end. It is forever. It is not the belief on this god and demigod, but the definition rotates around the most municipal recipient of bhakti. If it is Krishna, then it will be Sanatan. If it with the demigods, it's temporary. Although the persons of Indian origin often say, I know all about Krishna. Often, what they know is a distorted picture of the absolute truth. They don't know, but yet they dare to say, I know Krishna. So I don't have to chant his name. So I don't have to, come to the temple and worship. I know Krishna. I believe. That is Hinduism. But that is a distorted picture of the absolute truth. A philosophy that artificially tries to make everything one without distinction. Hodgepodge. To such so-called knowers of the truth, there is no difference between themselves and God. And that distorted picture impels them to a kind of worship of the Lord in which they perform rituals, chant mantras, and offer prayers in the hopes of achieving material opulence and become God. God's competitors. What such practitioners do not know is that their brand of spirituality is a semblance of devotion, causes rebirth, often in the lower species of life. This is an envious mentality, and then they end up worshipping anybody, imagining as God. But they can, if that is devotional service, then they should go back to God. But no, and they come in lower species of life. Persons who have received the seed of semblance of devotion. I mean, semblance means almost resemblance, but actually it is not. It's called abhas. He thinks, oh, I'm worshipping the Supreme Lord, but there's no difference between him and me, so I will expect somebody else to worship me like that. So, persons who have received the seed of semblance of devotion can have the change of fortune by coming into contact with a pure devotee. They will change it faster. But they must here submissively and openly admit their previous misconceptions. In this way, they become eligible for devotional service and its perfections. It says that you must deserve first, then desire. We desire first, then we try to justify that we deserve. It's other way around. You are cheating yourself. First deserve, become a pure devotee. Then everything will be lined up. But they must here submissively and openly admit their previous misconceptions, and in this way they become eligible for devotional service and its perfections. In summary, the type of knowledge persons receive determines the type of seed they sow in their heart. Living entities fortunate enough to receive transcendental knowledge from the pure devotees get the opportunity to practice pure devotional service. But those who receive impure and distorted knowledge continues to rotate in the cycle of birth and death. Only when they meet pure devotees does the door to pure devotional service open. It is for this reason that Krishna extols transcendental knowledge. Nahi jnanena shadrasham pavitram iha vidyate. Tat sarvam yoga samadhitta kalina atmani vindati. In this world, there is nothing so sublime as the pure transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism, and one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys the knowledge within himself and in due course of time. This is said in Bhagavad Gita as it is chapter number 4, text number 38. So this concludes the discussion of the seed and the creeper of the devotion. The first chapter, Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani. The next chapter discusses the first sprouts from the creepers and pure and mixed devotion, pure and impure faith, respectively. So we go further to get introduced to this Shuddha Bhakti, a progress further. The Shraddha Shabde Vishvasa Kahe Sudhrada Nishchay Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. Shraddha is confident, firm faith that by rendering transcendental loving service to Lord Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. Such faith is favorable to the discharge of devotional service. Shraddha Shabde Sudhrada Vishvasa Karanishchay. The word Shraddha, as analyzed, Shratadhana. Shat means absolute truth, Dha means Diya. When you repose your intelligence on the absolute truth, and put up into practice, always discerning. So, ashraddhadana, those who have not put their resolute faith on the exclusive service of Lord Shri Krishna. Asraddhadana purushasya dharmasyasya parantapa aprapnu mam nivartante mrityu sansar vartamane. Aprapnu mam. They do not achieve me and they come back and rotting in the cycle of birth and death. No. So, Shraddha is essential, but Shraddha in its innate nature is to develop a faith on Lord Krishna that by worshipping Krishna, by fulfilling his desires, all our karma are fulfilled. And he is asking bluntly, Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunte tat kurusha madarpanam. Whatever you do, hell with your thinking, offer it to me. You know? And to repose that faith only, then whatever I do should be offering to Lord Krishna. Krishna Bhakti Kaile, exclusive to Krishna. The sarva karma krita hoy. All the karmas will be fulfilled in its absolute nature. Because it's connected with Krishna. Krishna is absolute. Anything is connected with Krishna is also absolute in nature. So, this is the prayer. Shraddha is confident, firm faith that by rendering transcendental loving service to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. Such faith is favorable to the discharge of devotional service. This is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 22nd chapter, 62nd verse. So we begin with second chapter, which is eligibility for devotion. Shuddha Bhakti. What is the eligibility? This is the part one Maharaj is describing. The first sprout to appear from the seed of the creeper of pure devotion is called Shraddha. Adav Shraddha. It's sprouting now. Okay? So what does a sprout contain? You got the mung sprout, Chinese market. Huh? What is that sprout? Yeah, but means the sprout is the growth of the seed with the nourishment within the seed. You can grow a sprout on other surface, not only on the soil. Right? So the initial body of the sprout, that is the what we talk, the original eternal pure faith of living entities is the sprout, first sprout. The faith that impels them to engage in eternal loving service of the Lord. That is another understanding. When the sprout is formed, okay, then it is the engagement in eternal loving service to the Lord. Because from this, everything will grow. Such unsprouted seed has also, and in small size, the really the source of growth would be. Growth, it is growing and differentiating later on in the roots and stem and leaves and everything. It will follow later. Other kind of faith which sprouts from seed of mixed devotion provide impetus for the countless mundane activities and the materialistic religions or religious practices of this world. What it means, it will grow, but the services in the growth will be dovetailed to many side factors, not only resolved to Krishna. If it's a pure seed, the pure sprout will be growing and Lord Krishna will be enjoying. But because it's mixed seed, we have our own thoughts, probably in mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And everything can be a mixed. That means it is not pure consciousness. It is impure. We cannot tie up Krishna consciousness and our material dealings together. Our material dealings should become conducive to spiritual growth. Even the same stratum will be using, like food and prasad. The same stratum is there, but consciousness is different, like that. So, prasade sarva dukkhanam rani hani rasya pajayate. By consumption of prasadam, all the troubles of ignorance about the efficacy of the holy name will be removed. So, we see pure faith alone qualifies the conditioned living entity for pure devotional service. And it is in explanation of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 20th chapter, 27 and 28th verses. This is in Bhakti Sandarbha. Jiva Goswami is quoting his Anuched 172. It's not out of our regime. So, how and why does pure faith sprout from the creeper of pure devotion? If it is pure devotion, then it should be pure faith, not mixed faith. It begins to sprout when the results of the unwitting devotional act, means agyat sukruti, that is the root cause to bring us to the platform of devotional service in this life. But Sukruti is there, that is the qualification of previous life. But if you are exposed to Gyata, fully knowledgeable within this lifetime, you may change your opinion. And that's what is wanted. It's not that we are taking chances to enter into the difficult subject because we don't know now. The two opposites are there, cannot be reconciled. That interest leads them to the saintly persons whose teachings and behavior make lasting impressions on their hearts. Two things. A pure devotee must exhibit pure teachings and pure behavior. अपनी आचरिते सिखाइलो भागवत धर्म. Bhagavad Dharma philosophy is very pure. No off-track situation is there. And pure ahituki means even no strings attached. No hetu, cause, is given to Bhakti Devi. So we say, oh, she is appearing on her sweet will. Nobody forces her. Nobody can do. That is the nature of Krishna. And we must follow that etiquette. So, that interest leads them to saintly persons whose teachings and behavior make lasting impressions on their hearts. As they contemplate these impressions, they develop trust in the Vaishnavas, confirmed and fortified by the Supersoul. That trust solidifies into a commitment to the truth. One must approach a bona fide spiritual master and try to verify his observation. If he is a progressive devotee, he cannot take it for granted. Hey, Guru Maharaj, how am I doing? Nobody asks that. Rather, they ask other way around. Guru Maharaj, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Huh? You see? No humility. Just to get a stamp approved for their work. The Guru approves it. Okay? But most of the time, Guru receives the complaint. Huh? I got complaint today, all the way from Ujjain and Indore. Your disciple is not following this, that. You squeezed him out, got a lot of homework done through him, and you can't tolerate him anymore. Like that. Anyway, so limitations are there, but they should be pushed gradually rather than curtail and knock out. They complain to Guru, knock him out. I said, forget it. I'll tell your Guru did not do to his disciples. Why do you want me to do? Because to keep the disciple, active in Krishna consciousness is most difficult thing. One should not, kick out. Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he was so much adept. He never despised on his disciple and punished, even though however culprits they were. Crores of rupees, swindle, this and that, and oh my God. Okay, you should not do this thing again here. Why don't you go to other country and go ahead? So the problem is solved, they think. But it's very funny. We call in Gujarati, there is a proverb, Master mare nahi, ane bhanave pan nahi. Neither he punishes, nor he educates. What is the use of master? Huh? While Chanakya Pandit is telling, Lalane bahvo dosha, tadane bahvo guna, tasmat putram cha shishyam cha tadayet natu lalayet. Completely opposite. Chanakya was considered to be a Vaishnava philosopher. Huh? Very practical. Then if you pamper your child or your disciple, you are going to introduce a lot of imperfections in him. They don't complain. That disciple was so much working hard to make a temple in Vidisha, in Madhya Pradesh. Okay? Vidisha is a famous place for Buddhist, vipassana meditations. So there somebody gave the land and he was instrumental to make it. But he was carefully kicked out. Now he complains because he has to become active. Okay, if ISKCON is not giving me service, I will do the service by the demand of the public. And then when he starts doing other things, oh my God, he's doing distraction. So something becomes very uncongenial in the practice. All right. This has been said in Bhakti Anucheda, Bhakti Sandarbha by Jiva Goswami, Anucheda 172, and in Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, 20th chapter, 27th and 28th verses. So, it begins to sprout, means how and why pure faith sprout from the creeper of pure devotion. So it begins to sprout when the results of the unwitting devotional service, Agyat Sukruti, of the innocent souls accumulate and awaken in them an interest in the Lord. That interest leads them to saintly persons whose teachings and behavior make lasting impressions on their heart. As they contemplate these impressions, they develop trust in the Vaishnavas. Confirmed and fortified by the Super Soul, that trust solidifies into commitment to the truth. This awakening of firm commitment to is the first sprout of the creeper of devotion and pure faith, that is Shraddha. Ado Shraddha. Shraddha fructifies. Sprouting means fructification, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives Gaudiya Vaishnava conception of faith. That the Shraddha is confident, firm faith that by rendering transcendental loving service to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. Such faith is favorable to the discharge of devotional service. And then we saw in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it was very well explained, Shraddha Shabde. A person who has this quality or faith thinks pouring water on the root of a tree automatically satisfies the trunk, branches, and twigs. Supplying the food to the stomach nourishes the life airs and satisfies the senses. In the same way, worshipping and serving Krishna will automatically satisfy all demigods and fulfill my needs. This is the statement in the praise of Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 31st chapter, 14th verse. This train of thoughts reflect the mood and exclusive dedication and complete dependence characterized of pure faith. This mood does not lead to blind faith as empiricists would have to think. Rather, because faith is born of transcendental knowledge, it is directly and systematically perceivable. Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita that spiritual knowledge gives direct perception and by the self to the self by realization. Pratyaksha avagamam dharmyam susukam kartam abhyayam. Direct perception. So, in fact, pure faith and pure devotional service gives direct experience of the self at each stage of their development. Ninth chapter, second verse of Bhagavad Gita. Rajavidya rajaguhyam pavitram idamuttamam pratyaksha avagamam dharmyam susukham kartum avyayam. This is the verse, 9 seconds. And it's a scientific process. It gives direct perception. If you perform avagamam, means stage-wise. Then whatever the result is susukham, kartum. And avyayam means inexhaustible. The results are permanent. So bhakti is the shreyakari. Where is our shreyakari? I'm sorry. She benefits everybody. So in this way we can understand the benevolence of pure devotional service. Our heart should not be shrunk. Ayam nija paro vetti. This is mine, that is yours. This is the talk of lagunam lagu chetasam. Those who are constricted in the heart. But udhar charitanam vasudeva kutumbakam. Right? Udhar charita. Vaishnava is udhar. We have to learn how to become udhar. If we want to become happy, become generous, and stop petty conflicts, we will not grow. You will not grow otherwise. They are like weeds around your devotional creeper. You have to pluck them out. Otherwise, the sap of devotion will be eaten up by them. So, addition to Jnana and Vairagya, which are the byproducts of pure devotion service, there are other three qualities: trust in scriptures, distinct taste for devotion, and increased strength to practice devotional service. And there will be, all three will be briefly described. These qualities in further deliberations. Let's read and finish this part. Faith in scripture While instructing candidate for devotion, Vaishnavas constantly refer to the sacred texts as such or such as the Bhagavad Gita in order to establish that the revealed scripture is the foremost authority, praman, in the devotee's life. Shastra is one of the truth that we have to accept, and that is our standard to compare with anything. If a person is bluffing, Shastra will expose him. So Shastra must be good. In the process, they expose the futility of humankind attempts to material happiness and make clear that misunderstanding or misidentification with the body is the root cause of suffering. You are not this body, and why are you talking of the body, mind, or intelligence? There is no necessity to show in whichever way you think you are powerful as false ego. So in the process, they expose the futility of humankind's attempt at the material happiness and make clear that misidentification with the body is the root cause of their suffering. Person get into trouble because of bodily conception. You can't mix oil and water together. All right? Oil is lighter. Water is heavier. But even by nature, because you may say in physics we have the surface tension or other phenomena that keeps them separate. But regardless, these are the rupak or comparable to bhakti and material life. Don't bring material life in bhakti. Pure bhakti doesn't involve our editions of the three modes. Don't try to taint pure devotional service. We have to correct ourselves. If we have passionate nature, very ambitious and pushing or pulling somebody's leg and just passing over, there are so many competitive moods are there. But there's a material mode of passion. It has nothing to do with bhakti. If somebody does, it will be disadvantage to him or her. When one thinks, I'm in bhakti, I have not reached to that pure devotion status, because I have to liberate first from all the nonsense attachments of the material nature, Then and then one will be enjoying this application of bhakti, which is called spontaneous devotional service. Para-bhakti. You have to become free from bodily conception of life. Brahma bhuta prasannatma no sochati no kankshati samat sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. Only after liberation from the bodily conception of life, gross as well as subtle, then you will get para-bhakti, or you will be allowed to perform para-bhakti. Impersonalist may come up to, subduing their false ego and everything, and they think, oh, they are now liberated. Oh, they have become one with Brahman. Oh, but no qualities of performance of devotional services there. So they are impostors and opponents of Lord Shri Krishna and its realm. So, hearing all this, the candidates develop firm faith, trust in the scriptures and the path it prescribes. As Srila Jiva Goswami writes, Shraddha hi shastrartha vishwasaha. Shraddha is the faith in the scriptures. A distinct taste for devotion. Persons who receive transcendental knowledge at once recognize the futility of the past furtive activities and are delivered to contact the truth. The inner joy arising from this relief along with the increasing relish derived from the continued acts of devotion combine to give aspirant a taste that makes faith deeper and more concentrated. This has been said in Bhakti Tattva Viveka, chapter 4, page number 36. Who wrote Bhakti Tattva Viveka?
Srila Bhakti Vinoda Gurudeva.
Everyone?
Srila Bhakti Vinoda Thakura Gurudeva.
Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Swam Rupa, you are intelligent. All right. So, the inner joy arising from this relief, along with the increasing relish derived from the continuous acts of devotion, combine to give aspirant a taste that makes faith deeper and more concentrated. That is the higher status of enjoying. More purer bhakti, more purer results of love of Godhead. As Krishna says, that a taste for transcendental knowledge is susukham. Not only sukham, but susukham. Very joyful. In Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 2nd verse is there. Then increasing strength through practice devotional service. The first sprout of pure faith is generally tender or weak, but acts of devotion and further cultivation of the transcendental knowledge gradually reinforce one's faith until it becomes as immovable as the Himalayas. This steadily increases the strength is the another characteristics of the pure faith. You become more energized, more strong, more committed, more bhakti, you will be inspired to do more. There is a competition. Bhakti Devi's mercy should not be wasted. You have to respond immediately in the same measure. So, ye yatha mam prapadyante sam satheva bhajamyaham. In the degree of our approach to the Supreme Lord, he also bhajamyam. Krishna says, I am also worshipping you. Oh, no, 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 Krishna, you can't worship me. I'm your full-on soul. When Krishna is approving, we become overwise. Instead of accepting the humility and show our meekness, that without this mercy, I'm not able to go deeper. When Lakshmi comes to do the tilak on your forehead, you say, no, let me go and wash my face first. You think Lakshmi is going to wait for you? She will go away. So it's like that. People think they are overwise. So Krishna and all his agents, they are very spontaneously acting to help the devotee with the respective faith. In accordance to that, reciprocation is there. So they steadily increase the strength in another characteristics of pure faith. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that a Madhyam Adhikari is one who has reached the stage of firm faith, Shraddhavan stage. He is full of faith. That's explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 22nd chapter, 67th verse. So we'll stop here. Anybody has any question or comments? Haribol. My Bluetooth is not connected. I don't know which one.
Can you hear me, Gurumaj? No. Yeah, somehow you're not able to hear us, Gurumaj.
Yeah, I cannot hear you. I'm wearing my earphones.
Yeah, you can hear me on the phone, just on the computer you can't hear me.
Okay. Which one is it?
They cannot hear it.
Huh?
They cannot hear it. They can hear it. You cannot hear it.
No, I cannot hear.
Can you ask them to talk something?
Can you talk something?
Hare Krishna, Gurumaj.
Okay. Now I can hear.
Okay, thank you.
I'm in the world of computer, geniuses.
Good.
They are-
Someone to help.
Oh, someone did it at the end. It should have been before. But I was that dumb, I didn't realize even the whole class.
That's all right. We could hear you, Gurumaj. We heard the whole class.
Okay. Good. Any question, Sitaradhya?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
No, no question at, actually as such, but this section is very intense and very much technical. And I think I was trying to basically talk while you were giving a class, as there was a Bluetooth problem, but we missed a couple of paragraphs, Guru Maharaj. Anyway, we'll try to basically, just catch up in our reading. Yeah. So no question as such, just trying to digest the subject matter. It's very technical and intense.
Our bhakti should become intense rather than superfluous.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Sanivas Prabhu has his hand up, Gurumaj.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Jai.
Can you hear me, Guru Maharaj? Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Guru
Hare
Maharaj,
Krishna.
actually you given a very nice depth point, Guru Maharaj, like how the scriptures have to be taken very, very seriously. That is only the first step to develop our devotion. As you were explaining every time, coming and telling the scriptures, like last time, Bhut Bhagavatam and everything, we are really, really getting more inspired in our Bhakti, Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. That's a very nice, deep point you are focusing on us. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
I'm asking for the questions.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. So here my question is, Guru Maharaj, as we hear more and more from the thing, and this the point of faith always, if we don't read Shastras regularly, this faith gets disturbed, Guru Maharaj. So the only source of increasing the faith is by always regularly reading Shastras and associating with the Shastras, Guru Maharaj. This is only the way.
There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way.
Hare
Kalau nasteva nasteva gatiranyatha. Harinam eva keva. So Harinam is a subject matter of both hearing and chanting. Hearing comes first, chanting is followed.
Ujjvala Rasagya Guru Maharaj.
Haribol, I have reached safely, Mata.
So wonderful, Gurudev. So wonderful. Yes, you will see you. You're still tired, Gurudev. So maybe you will get some rest tonight. Thank you, Gurudev. Thank you. I'm sure all the devotees, wherever you are, we are blessed,
Let's
Gurudev.
see
Good. Yeah.
how much interest Albany is showing.
Gurudev, regarding the question, regarding the faith, Gurudeva, I was just going to say, and please correct me, Gurudeva. Regarding the faith, when we are in a neophyte stage, when the modes are overwhelming, and when we are buried in ignorance and passion, whatever is said in Shastra, they do not really enter into our minds because our minds are so agitated and is questioning. So Shastra may be there, but when the sadhu is speaking the Shastra, and when the sadhu is clarifying the questions that the sadhaka has, and when as the questions are being clarified, and as the sadhaka is practicing bhakti, with that clarity at each step, then the sadhaka would experience bhakti. Like when an instruction is followed, and with that clarity, when we are doing bhakti, there is a little experience there. So the faith that is there in Shastra, it has to come through sadhu. And I have to understand what is there in Shastra and how do I apply it in my life, in my situation, with my mentality. That only a sadhu can tell me. Then when I apply, when I experience it, then my faith will be there in the sadhu and in the Shastra also. Shastra is always there for verification, but it is the sadhu that is giving me the Shastra, guiding me, and let me experience the taste of bhakti, of what Shastra is saying, and then my faith gets deepened. Is that okay, Gurudeva?
Well, that cannot be taken as a stagnant activity. We must keep on not only faith, but practice and verifiability will be there for our increment. And more it is verified, more you will be able to do more and more and more and more. So like that. So continuity in rendering service to Guru Sadhu Shastra is daily practice.
Yes.
Guru
Dynamic.
Yeah.
It is dynamic. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. Because it is not stagnant, it is dynamic.
Yes. Yes. Dynamic, continuous, verifiability from the sadhu and verifiability from the Shastra.
That's correct. That's correct.
Perfect.
So everything, the faith is corresponding on the name, on the practitioner or our demonstrator or what we call guru, as well as the Shastra.
Right.
They all three are in congruence with each other.
Right. And all three while being
Yeah.
congruent in nature, gives an experience to a sadhaka at each
Yeah.
step, and that is verified. So in this
And
way,
he has to keep on catching up.
yes,
It's not a one-time experience.
yes, Gurudev.
Good.
Thank you, Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
Guru Maharaj, I was looking when he said, in addition to the 2 characters of faith mentioned above, I found the 2 that I found that looked most likely was interest in the Lord, and then as a result of that, they developed trust in the Vaishnavas. Because he didn't actually say this is the first and this is the second.
Yes, the advanced Vaishnavas are representative of Krishna.
Yeah.
And because sadhunam hridayam mama. Sadhus are situated in the heart of Lord Krishna. Similarly, Lord Krishna is situated in the hearts of sadhus. Therefore, you will not be able to go away. You will be well protected in the pursuit of worshipping both. Remember, we were told in the beginning that Bhagavata is of 3 kinds. The book Bhagavatam, Krishna is Bhagavatam, and one who talks about Bhagavatam is also personified Bhagavatam. So, congruency is there. That benefits both sadhaka and sadhya also. That is Krishna. Krishna is happy, you are happy.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Also, Gurudev, one more thing, just wanted to mention, Gurudev. The
Yeah.
pure teachings you are giving, they are very invaluable, Gurudev. I'm saying this because when you said, don't taint pure bhakti, modes have nothing to do with bhakti, those statements, Gurudev, coming from that pure platform will have its own impact. Initially, we may not be able to understand that so well or reach those statements well, but they have a potency when they come from that platform. So, very grateful for the pure teachings, Gurudev.
Thank you.
Vidyalala Mataji.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Jai Radhe.
Gurudev, everyone. Gurudev, can you please elaborate a bit more on the process of verification? Like, how should we do it? Like,
Pratyaksha avagamam means it's a verification. Because it happens right before your eyes. Such practice of pure devotional service manifests right before your eyes. That's called pratyaksha avagamam. Dharmyam susukham kartum avyayam. Performance is inexhaustible. It is not one-time job. It is a lifetime job. Continuous. Avyayam means inexhaustible. You will always enrich yourself with more and more enthusiasm, pure devotional service, sacrificing your life for the pleasure of the Lord. These are all the symptoms that initially we have not developed. So, in speaking or thinking, speaking, and acting, all 3 becomes congruent. Some people are very adept in glorifying their thinking only, but not performing anything. Prabhupada always says, take some risk for the pleasure of Krishna, so he will come to see you, rather than you try to see him. Bhakti is not an armchair philosophy. You know, armchair. You become always rocking for your joy. It cannot be performed like that.
Yes, Gurudev. Thank you. So does it mean that we have to keep checking, like when we experience changes of heart, changes in faith, so we should consult you, I mean our spiritual masters, to verify where
Yes,
we are heading? Is it correct? Okay, Gurudev.
your spiritual master is available to you. Okay.
Thank you, Gurudev. Hare Krishna.
Sound vibration is more important than Vapu vibrations. Okay.
Yes,
You are in
Gurudev.
Mauritius. I'm in USA. I have been planning to come since last 6 years. It is not materializing. But definitely, I have keen desire to come and see all of you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna. Oh, Radheshyam. Anything else?
Nothing yet, Gurmaj.
Okay. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, sir.